$34,000 in 24 hours through Shopify dropshipping. Let's get into how I did it and how you can too. My name's Mike or MoMike, and I appreciate you clicking on this video, and to return the favor, I'm about to change your life by revealing to you guys one of the products I sold, how I advertised, set up the website, source the products, legit everything you would need to know to get started yourself. There's a lot that goes into dropshipping, and I think a lot of beginners fail because they don't have a video like this to take them through everything A to Z. But first, let me prove to you guys the title wasn't clickbait, and I actually generated $34,000 in a single day. It was on 2 different stores, with the first one right here at $25,000, which I will refresh. And there it is. And the next, almost $9,000, which again, I will refresh so you guys know it's real. And before you guys click off this video, because that was a year ago, I am still selling this product to this day, and it is still crushing. But more on that, what it is, and how much I'm currently making later in this video. So if you clicked on this video, odds are you know what dropshipping is, but if not, give me 35 seconds and let me explain it. And if you do, you can just skip ahead. So let's say you're scrolling on TikTok and you see a product you find interesting, such as this humidifier. So you go to the website they're promoting, but instead of buying it like the average person would, you see they're selling it for $45. You realize they are dropshipping it, so you go find a supplier who can sell it to you for $20. Create your own website and start promoting it yourself when bang, you get an order. Customer paid you $45 for the product, so you take their address and all their info along with $20, send it to your supplier, who will then ship the product directly to the customer. You didn't have to touch the product once, and you get to keep the $25 difference in profit. Now that we are all on the same page, what comes next is pillar 1 of 4 that I will be going over in this video. You need to have all 4 of these down if you want to find any success dropshipping, and I hate to be that guy, but I promise it'll be worth your time sticking to the end and seeing them all. And it all starts with finding a product, a winning product to be exact, which for me always starts with the TikTok burner method, which is how I found the exact product that made me the $35,000 in a day. What you do is create a brand new TikTok account, and once you get signed up, you head over to the For You page and start scrolling, but you only stop scrolling once you see a video of a product or an ad. Then what you do is like, comment, and follow the creator, which then shows the TikTok algorithm that this is the type of content you like. Repeat about 20 times, and soon your For You page will only be showing you videos of products which you just keep interacting with. Literally an infinite product glitch, and if you have infinite products, you have infinite money to make. Another option is to search certain keywords, which will lead us to other dropshippers' accounts. A popular video style is to show a prototype of your product and then transition into the actual thing, kind of like I have on the screen right now. So if we notice a lot of dropshippers are using this video style, and then we go over to TikTok and search it, it leads you to a ton of products your competition is already selling. Another could be searching up dropshippers exposed, which brings up a bunch of accounts of people trying to call out dropshippers and show you can get it cheaper somewhere else. But at the same time, they're also showing people like us good products to sell. So those are the 2 main free methods I stand by, and like I said, I found the product that made $35,000 doing this exact thing. And if you do have somewhat of a bigger budget, there are options like AutoDS's TikTok search, which basically does what I just went over for you. You can even sort by likes, impressions, even where the video came from. Like here, I will click on organic, and it will pull up all the top videos posted of products today on TikTok. Okay, so now you know how to get products in front of you, but how do you know if it's actually a good product to sell? And if you don't evaluate and pick out a product correctly, it'll be the downfall of your whole dropshipping business. You want it to be visually appealing to hook the viewers in, solve a problem to get them to want to buy it, and within a reasonable price so they actually can buy it. And just jumping back over to the stores, the average order value was just under $24 for this one and $35 exactly for this one, which isn't a coincidence. All of our advertising takes place on TikTok, and since there is a bit of a younger demographic on the app, you want to find a price range that they will actually be able to buy. So I'd say anywhere from $25 to $45 is a good range to stick by. A few years ago, products like these used to work the best, but now it has shifted more to products like I have on the screen right now. And I'm sure you could tell, but the ones that are working nowadays are way more appealing to the eye and really hook you in. So you found a product with the methods I went over, evaluated it with the criteria I just explained, which leads you to the next step of creating a website around this one product. But first, I'm a man of my word, and I like to show the products that I actually sold. But since the 25K and the 9K were actually 2 different products on 2 different stores, let's choose which one to reveal first. I bet that's not ideally what you guys wanted, but I'll be covering the $25,000 product later in this video, so don't worry. So the product that generated me $9,000 on January 2nd was actually these self-mixing blenders. And actually both are broken right now, but I'll pop up a video on the screen of how it works. The website is pillar number 2 to dropshipping, and in my opinion, people overcomplicate this step like crazy. Although it is important because this is where your customers will be purchasing your products, and if it gives off a scammy feel at all, they will be less inclined to buy, even if they really want it. But the reason I mentioned that people overcomplicate this step is because back in 2021, when I was new to the game of dropshipping, my stores were pretty bad and they still did numbers. And I have a direct example for you guys when I sold this flying spinner toy. I did a full video on this in the past, but as you guys can see, this product generated me over $141,000 in 3 months. Again, the average order value was around $30, but when you come over to the online store section and we jump onto the website, you can see it's pretty below average with just some simple text, gifts, and only 13 reviews. But if I could go back in time, I would definitely improve the store, which would lead to a higher conversion rate here, and as a result, more money. Like if this conversion rate was double at 3%, that 140,000 would be 280,000. And on the product I'm about to show you guys, it was 4.5%. So building your store all starts on Shopify, and that's why the business model is literally called Shopify dropshipping. In 2024, you need to be doing a one product store. The days of listing 100 viral products are long gone, which I think is for the better. The reason you need to have a one product store is to create a branded feel around this one product. You want the customer to feel like your website is the only place they could get the product, and in some cases that you are the creator of it. This, combined with a fair price, is how you make Amazon not even a threat. You can create a logo for 100% free on Canva, create a product description using AI tools such as ChatGPT, add GIFs like these to demonstrate how the product works, build out a simple store using Shopify's free themes, buy a domain, and you will be ready to go. I recommend finding your biggest competitors or other people who are selling the same product you picked and try to replicate their websites the best you can. The product that made me $25,000 in a day, I wasn't even the first one to sell it. I saw someone else doing well, so I replicated what they were doing well, improved on some parts, and the money followed. So now you have a product and a website all set up around this one product. But before I go into advertising and how to actually generate these big numbers, before you start selling, you want to find a good supplier, which is pillar number 3. And if you want to be able to do this long term, it is one you need to have down. The supplier is who will be getting the products to your customers, which is why it is so important. Most of you probably know about AliExpress, which is a great resource to have, but in 2024, you don't want to be using this to actually ship out your products. People are getting more and more used to fast shipping times and even overnight shipping on Amazon. So anything over 1, maybe 2 weeks is a no-go, or else the returns and refunds are going to be a mess on the back end. I like to speak out of experience, and to be honest, there are a ton of options out there. But currently, what I'm using is a platform called AutoDS, which is also what I mentioned earlier about finding your products. In the position I am right now, I have legit access to every tool you could think of for dropshipping, and companies even give me access for free in hopes that I'll plug it in a video like this. But AutoDS stood out to me, which is why I want to explain it and show how easy they make the supplier side of dropshipping. Unlike how it used to be in 2021, where I would take every customer's address and manually ship out the products myself. Lots of sleepless nights. Although it's not a product I would sell anymore, let's use the flying spinner I went over earlier as an example. So I'm going to come over to the AutoDS marketplace and fill out a few of these filters. So we want it to ship to the US, and this is a big one. We want it to ship from the US as well, and it is a toy. Then coming down here, I'm going to simply search flying spinner, and then boom, they have it along with a few other options to pick. And what's cool is if they don't have your product, you can just go to add products and import it from whatever website you found it on first. So this one ships in 1 day, but it is $25, which is way too high. But this one has 3-day shipping and it is only $15. So then you just click import draft, head down to drafts, and then import it to your store. This way, when someone purchases it on your website, it'll show up in the orders tab, and with a few clicks, you can have it sent to the customer. Pretty simple. And when it comes to pricing, you want to have at least a 50% margin, meaning if I can get the product for $15, I want to sell it for at least $30. And another thing to keep in mind is once you start getting orders consistently and start scaling up, you can actually negotiate with the suppliers to get this price down pretty far. We're at a point, if I remember correctly, I was able to get the spinners for only $10, which means way more profit for me. At this point, you have all the backend set up, which is where the fun really starts, the advertising and making money. So depending on your budget, there are 2 routes you can go with this, and if you do want to hit the big numbers, you want to be doing both the 2 at once. So for myself, when I was starting out, I didn't have much of a big budget. So I chose TikTok organic advertising, which is basically just creating content or videos around your product. And again, we can use the spinner example where this one account right here is what made me $141,000 without spending a single cent on ads. And with TikTok continuing to grow every month, the amount of money you can make just by posting some simple 15 to 20 second videos is nuts. But your ability to go viral relies so heavily on the product you pick, which is why I had that so high up on my list. Earlier, I mentioned you want your product to be visually appealing. And I mean this a lot because let's take, for example, these LED curtains that I'm selling right now. They have such a good visual wow factor, and it stops really anyone from scrolling. And these are the types of videos you're going to be creating. This account right here called LEDscape has pulled in around 20 million views organically in the past month. And from what I heard, that one account made around $300,000 in a single month. They probably paid around $40 to get a product to film with and around $50 to get the website set up. And look what that has turned into. Now imagine that, but with another another even more powerful form of advertising on top of it, which is TikTok paid advertising. This is basically where you're taking these videos and creatives from TikTok, but actually paying TikTok to push it out themselves. I could talk all I want, but I think actually setting up an ad campaign and going over my strategy will be the most valuable for you guys. This strategy is what helped me scale to $34,000 in a day, and most people out there would charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to reveal their strategies, but I'm gonna do it for free for you guys. So it all takes place in the TikTok Ads Manager, where you're gonna head up to the top left corner right here where it says create and click on that. Then you're gonna select custom mode, website conversions, and name it whatever your product is, test campaign. Then you're gonna switch on this little notch that says campaign budget optimization, which is what we call a CBO. Let's say you have 4 videos you want TikTok to push out. Well, if we add these 4 videos like I'm about to show you how to do, TikTok will put the majority of the spend to whatever video is doing best, which is the campaign optimizing your budget, hence the name. And TikTok can tell this by whatever video is getting the most clicks, sales, and so on. The budget here is simply whatever you're most comfortable with. Sometimes I'll test with $50, and in the past I've tested with thousands. It just depends on what scale you are at, but the outcome of finding which video works best will be the same. So once you have that put in, we're just gonna click on continue in the bottom right corner, name the ad group video 1. You're gonna select your pixel, which you can connect through Shopify. Optimization event, we are gonna wanna go for a complete payment, even if TikTok says you should do an add to cart. Why? Because we don't want people to just add to cart, we want them to actually buy. Then coming down to placements, we are gonna select placement and turn off everything, even the include search results, but only have TikTok checked. Then at advanced settings, we're gonna turn all these off, even if TikTok says you should have your comments on, you never should. Coming down to targeting, we're gonna just keep this wide open and let TikTok's algorithm do its thing because it knows better than us. Unless it's like a female beauty product, obviously you're only gonna wanna target females. Scrolling down, keep all this how it is, and then we're gonna schedule this to go live at midnight. Then we're ready to click next again, which will lead us to the ad section. So when it comes to your creative or the video you're gonna be pushing out, the best thing you could do would be to take the top performing videos you are posting on organic, download them, and then run them as a paid advertisement as well. But let's say you aren't doing organic and you just wanna stick to solely paid ads. Well, in my opinion, it's okay to take others' videos when you are testing like we're doing right here, as long as once you know it's a winning product and you are profitable, you order one for yourself or purchase some UGC ads so you don't run into any problems. So hypothetically, for this example, I could take the top videos from LEDscape, download them, and add them here. So there, as you can see, I have one all set up already with our name and logo plugged in there. So we can submit. You will see the campaign here, and what we're gonna do is create 3 copies of the ad group, keeping everything the same, but changing the video only. One campaign, 4 ad groups, each with their own video. So you just set up your first CBO and you have 4 ad groups, and TikTok's gonna start spending your budget whenever you have it set, which should be midnight. And like I said, it's gonna put the majority of the spend to whatever ad group or video is doing best, which with these test campaigns is the whole goal. Find what video works best so then we can start scaling from there. And there are 2 types of scaling, horizontally and vertically. Horizontally is where you would take the $50 campaign and create 10 copies of it, which would bring you to a total budget of $500. But vertically means you would take the budget of just that one campaign and up it to $500 itself. And in my experience, what actually works best is a mix of both. Once I see 10 campaigns do well at a $50 budget, I'll up all of them to a $100 budget and so on. This lowers the risk and still lets me scale up fast, which to hit $34,000 in sales that day, I was spending a few $1,000s and had organic videos doing well at the same time. So those are the 4 pillars, and I know that was a lot of information, but I do think it has the potential to change some of your guys' lives. But being honest, I know some of you guys are still just waiting to see what the product was that made me $25,000 on that one store. And at this moment, I'm not actually able to share exactly what it was, but I will give some clues. And the reason for this is not that I want to gatekeep it, it's because someone is actually interested in buying the whole business off me, because it has still been doing well, not at that $25,000 a day scale, but still a substantial amount. And you guys know me, whenever I am able to share, I will in a future video. But like I showed earlier, it is a low price product, it is visually appealing, and it is in the beauty and self-development niche. So what are the steps you should take to be able to reach a similar level to what I was able to do? Well, just follow everything that I just went over in order. And again, I can't stress enough how important picking the right product is. All these ad strategies and supplier moves don't mean anything if it's not a good product, because well, nobody's gonna buy it. Dropshipping has tons of upsides, as you can see, but it does take some work upfront on your end. And maybe that's taken a few days to do product research, even if you aren't making any money at the time. But if you pick the right one, it could change your life, and that time you spent finding it would be worth it. This is a video I wish I had when I was first starting out dropshipping, so I hope showing my numbers, showing my products, and my strategies can help inspire you to just get started and get after it. Let me know what types of videos or tutorials you guys want to see in the future, and I recommend watching the video that's on the screen right now where I took a product from $0 to over $18,000 in sales in 30 days. I appreciate your time spent watching today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.